How did Pink Floyd's lineup change over time? Have you ever wondered how a band can change so much over the years while still keeping their unique sound? Pink Floyd is a perfect example of this evolution. Let's take a closer look at how their lineup transformed from the early days to their later years. Pink Floyd began in 1964 with 5 members: Syd Barrett on guitar and vocals, Roger Waters on bass and vocals, Richard Wright on keyboards and vocals, Nick Mason on drums, and briefly Bob Close on guitar. Close left early, making Barrett the main guitarist and frontman. This original group created a psychedelic sound that led to their debut album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, released in 1967. As time went on, Barrett's mental health declined, which affected his ability to perform. In December 1967, David Gilmour joined the band to support Barrett. Initially, Gilmour was there to help with Barrett's unpredictable performances. However, by early 1968, Barrett stopped performing altogether, and Gilmour took over as the lead guitarist and vocalist. With Gilmour on board, Pink Floyd solidified into a 4-member lineup consisting of David Gilmour, Roger Waters, Richard Wright, and Nick Mason. This classic lineup produced some of their most famous albums, including The Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall. During this period, Waters became the main creative force behind the band's music. However, tensions began to rise in the early 1980s. While recording The Wall, Richard Wright faced conflicts with Waters and was forced to leave the band in 1981. Although he left, he continued to perform as a hired musician for live shows. In 1985, Roger Waters announced his departure from Pink Floyd, claiming the band was finished. But Gilmour and Mason decided to continue under the Pink Floyd name. In 1987, Wright rejoined the band as a full member for the album A Momentary Lapse of Reason. The group continued to release his music throughout the 1990s, including The Division Bell in 1994. Sadly, Wright passed away in 2008, and Barrett died in 2006. In the years that followed, Gilmour and Mason remained active with Pink Floyd's legacy. They used archived recordings with Waters to create The Endless River, released in 2014, which marked the band's final studio album. There was a brief reunion of the classic lineup in 2005 for a special performance and again in 2020 for a single releases. To summarize the key changes, the original lineup included Syd Barrett, Roger Waters, Richard Wright, Nick Mason, and Bob Close. In 1967, David Gilmour joined to support Barrett. By 1968, Barrett left, and Gilmour became the lead guitarist. In the early 1980s, Wright left but returned later as a session musician. Waters departed in 1985, while Gilmour and Mason continued. In the 1990s, Wright rejoined, and they released their final albums. These lineup shifts reflected how Pink Floyd evolved from a psychedelic rock, been led by Barrett, to a progressive rock powerhouse shaped by Waters and Gilmour, with Mason and Wright providing the essential rhythm and atmosphere.